and your head down. Now we'll take an inhale through your nose, try to fill up your rib cage, and then on the exhale, push the feet into the floor and curl up. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Pilates. Breathe in through your nose. Try to expand the rib cage, and as you exhale, push your feet into the floor. We're adding on the low back articulation as you go up and as you go down. And if that creates any discomfort, you can also just lift up as if you're a piece of plywood, or if you know you have a herniated disc, you can lift up like a piece of plywood. So you want to make sure it's working for you. And let's go back to the breath. When you breathe in, you're breathing in through your nose, you're filling up both sides of your rib cage and the back part of your rib cage. And when you exhale through your nose, you're feeling your belly pull in. And as the belly pulls in, that's going to activate your spinal stabilizers, the ones that keep you out of pain. So on this next one, we're going to stay up in the high bridge. You can notice that both hip bones are even, that your glutes have more sensation or contraction than your low back. So you're not so high up that your low back is more curved. Hold here. You're going to feel like your glutes have some contraction. That helps keep the low back safe. Take an inhale, and then on your exhale, lower down, and then we'll do a little counter pose. You can bring your hands to your feet or your ankles and pull the knees down on either side. And now take the left leg down and the right leg long towards the sky, and then the modification would be to bend both or a little knee, either knee if you have tight hamstrings. So this is called leg circles. Your ribs are down on the mat. And if you put one hand on your abs, you should feel that the abs are pulling in and not doming up. If your head's uncomfortable, you can always take a little pillow and place it under your head, especially if you have forward head syndrome. That's it. All right, so as you do this, this leg circle is more about the abdominal stability. Now go the other way. The bigger the circle, the harder it is to keep the abs and the ribs and the pelvis in the right place. So if you feel really rocky or unstable, then just make a smaller circle. Breathe in. Feel your belly pull in, and if you're not sure if it is, put your hand on your belly to know. Take one more, and then just leave that leg up, and we're going to point and flex that foot, the one that's in the air. Add your toes spreading. Add ankle rolls. The ankle flexibility and foot flexibility is important for low back care and balance. All right, now this right leg's going to come down. Slide the left leg up, and your hand could be on your belly for feedback. You're going to draw circles. Keep the pelvis on the mat like it's Velcroed. Keep the rib cage on the mat. So when your leg goes across, you'll notice the other rib cage might try to pop up off the floor, but you're keeping it down. Neck muscles are soft. Jaw is soft. The bigger the circle, the harder the stability challenge. And then you can go the other way. Inhale. And the other leg, you can act like it's anchored to the floor or strapped down to the floor. Good. Feel your abdominals balance you. Check that you're not grabbing in the shoulders, the neck, or the jaw. Now this leg is going to stay up. I like to catch it with my hand, but you can also use a Dynaband if you need to. So let's take a point and a flex. We need those flexible ankles for the rest of our joints to have cushion. And then you can also add ankle rolls. It's okay if the bottom ankle parasympathetically does that too. And then go the other way. Nice job. And then hug your legs in to the belly for just a moment. And you can always give a little rock. Now this one's called the corkscrew, but I'm going to show modified first. So your hands are down and your legs are bent. This is modified. You'll go one way, then at 12 o'clock, when your legs are straight up, you'll go the other way. So that's baby corkscrew, and that may be what you need. If you can add on your legs go longer, and you can see why this one's harder, you want to keep your ribs down and then go the other way. If you make this really big, it's harder, so just keep the ribs down. That's your goal. Keep the ribs down, even when your legs are further away from you. When they're to the right, the left ribs stay down. When the legs are to the left, the right ribs stay down. And we're just doing 4 more. Small is fine. Legs are squeezing towards each other. Just a little squeeze. It doesn't have to be aggressive. 1 more. That inner thigh connection helps you stay connected in the pelvic floor. Hug the legs. Add a little rock. Good. And we're going to come back down to the bridge. So on the bridge, take an inhale and curl your spine up and then hold again. So now we're counterposing all that hip flexion and we're open up the hips. Hold 10. You want to feel your glutes and hamstrings more than your low back here. So if you feel your low back too much, try dropping the hips. That'll usually take care of that cue. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. So you can take a full body stretch just to release any tension in the body. We're going to be changing positions. So when you're up, you can grab a sip if you'd like. Check in with your back, see how everything is. Belly downs. So on the belly downs, your legs are long. And at first, we're going to put our hands down. So they're not in the picture. But what you can think of is that your hands are reaching towards your feet so that you're activating these lower scapular stabilizers as opposed to the neck. Here we go, belly in. So you suck the belly in and then you're going to lift up your spine. Your inhale helps you go up. Good, so your neck is still long, your shoulders are still reaching away from your ears. Those of you that can add on your toe lift, do that. And just stay up, and every time you breathe in, you go a little higher. Your gaze is down towards the mat so you don't have any excess tension in the neck. Good. 5, that's it. Yep, hands are facing the floor. 3, good. That looks beautiful, guys. 2. Now recover, and anytime you need to, you can do a little windshield wipe to release the back, or if you need a child's pose, you can do that. Now we're gonna go belly in, so you feel like your abs have a little contraction, like there's a piece of ice underneath your belly button before you come up. Now, if you can, lift your toes. The arms are gonna lift higher than the back. This helps activate the rear deltoid. And we're doing 10 of these arm lifts called the I. Good. That's it. Then you can go to the letter T. You want to feel your rear deltoid and your back extensor. So if it's too much, take something out. Now the arms can go like a Y, 10. And then we're going to come together into a child's pose. And I'm going to add on the toes pulling under just to get those feet stretched. We know they're important for balance, and we know that's important for low back care. So feet are under. And then we're coming back down. This time, so belly down, legs down. Now, if you have any low back tightness here, you can try internally rotating your femurs, toes towards each other. That often helps. Otherwise, just leave them how they come naturally. The next position is hands at your low back. I'm going to interlace. If that's too much for your shoulders, just rest one on the other because you're still wanting to open the shoulders here. Inhale, lift up your torso. If you can, lift your arms higher. If that creates discomfort, then you just do what you need to for your shoulders. Legs up. Good. It's like someone's lifting you up by your arms. And then relax for a moment. If you had your right pinky out, now put your left pinky out. Otherwise, just leave your hands where they were. Come on up again. Number 10 reps, or 10 counts, 10. And recover. All right, press back. On this child's pose, I'm going to leave the toes down so the top of the shins get a little stretch. Hands down. And then come up to hands and knees. Now with hands and knees, if your knees have any discomfort, put more padding underneath them. So at first, pretend like you're just drooping, and that's what we don't want, and then push up. So your shoulder blades we want flat on the back. You don't want to feel like you're drooping or collapsing to the floor. So I'm showing this just for contrast. So press the hands into the floor, your scapula are broad. Keep that table extension as you lift the right arm and the left leg. Now the belly pulls in and you still aren't sagging, and then you lower the limb. Left arm, right leg, and lower. So notice how easy it would be to droop in the head or droop in the low back if you weren't active in your stabilizers around the scapula, the neck retractors, and the abs. So if you think you can add on, lift up all the toes. Now that makes it harder, so don't worry. If you need to stay with your toes down, please do. Notice how your hip would rotate if you weren't paying attention. Good, lengthen, and that a girl. Lengthen through your back leg as well. So your back leg, there it is, that looked better. And 4, good. That's it. So you're working at your own pace. You want to feel how you're stable against gravity. Gravity would pull you down, but your back is flat, neutral. And 1 more. Belly in, right before you reach, and then take a child's pose. This child's pose, we're going to walk the fingers over, so the pinky's far away from the hip. Now breathe into that rib cage. You should feel your shoulder, the intercostals, and your low back stretching. Try to direct the breath just to that rib cage. Add on a little opener called clamshell, like you're trying to look at the sun underneath your arm. You've got the fingers still touching the floor. Clamshell stretch. Exhale, lower your clamshell, walk to the other side. Now keep going until your right pinky is far away from your rib cage. Like today, I can feel that side's a little tighter on me. Just notice what your body's telling you. Breathe into that rib cage. Open up that rib cage and see what you got. So this is a serratus stretch. But you might also feel it shoulder intercostals. Inhale, and then exhale to come back. Nice job. And we're going to grab a sip actually. We're going to change our positions. Good job. So just for a bit, take hands and knees down, and then flexion. Now, you want to feel like the parts of your back that don't get much attention, get the attention now. So low back might be the area for you when you flex. And then when you inhale and lift, your upper back gets that extension. Good. And then curl. So it's like you're a wave. Curl. So this is cat-cow. It is spinal articulation. And ideally, the belly pulls in as you exhale, so those deep spinal stabilizers all along the spine get some attention. And attention means they hurt less, so they stabilize you better. So what happens if you want to add on? You can curl your toes, and you can lift your knees, and then you can do the same. That is harder, so make it what you need. Good. Try to take 2 more. Scapula will glide down the back and they will glide forward. Healthy scapula will glide. They aren't just rigid. All right, child pose, and let's add on an elbow bend. So pat yourself on the back. Breathe in. And then come on out to a forearm plank. Now, the modification is you're on your knees and see how your belly would droop to the floor if you weren't paying attention, and your shoulders would. You want to push into the mat, lift up. Good. So now the abs are pulling in. The elbows are underneath the shoulder. The head would droop to the floor if you weren't paying attention, but we're pulling it back. The knees might droop if we were not paying attention, but we're pulling it back. And then Karen, try a little bit of a pubic bone under here. Sometimes you can soften the knees to get that pubic bone under and then re-straighten the knees. That a girl. And then rest. Now I'm going to rest in Sphinx just because it opens up the abs, or Swan. If you need something else, just rest on the floor. But this is a great counter pose. Good. Notice how you have your belly pulled in here, so only go up as high as you can lift your belly slightly. All right, come back, forearms down, curl the toes, and lift. If you would like to add an isometric hold where you pull your forearms to your toes and your toes to your forearms. So that's going to turn on those abs even more. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and then rest however you need to. So here's one way, Sphinx. And notice you're never hanging out on the floor, you're lifted, your shoulders are down. And then like you knew, hands could add on Swan. So neck is soft. So when the shoulders are up, we're out of our stabilizers. When the shoulders are down, we're in our stabilizers. Good. 5. Last one. Come back. Pick the plank that you need. You know you can do modified knees. You know you can do your toes. You know you can do your isometric. Hold. 10. Work on the Q. Like I like to go down the body. My head's pulled back. My scapula are broad. My ribs are lifted. My belly is pulling in. Knees are strong. Heels are straight up and down. Inhale, better. Looking good. Breathe in. And recover. Sphinx, maybe a Swan. Breathe in. All right, take a child pose of your choice. So push back, good job. Press back. And then grab a sip. Nice job. Good job, guys. Lay on your side. And we're going to do a little frontal plane. So when you lie on your side, so what we do in Pilates is change the plane so your body gets used to activating stabilizers in all the planes. So now we're in a different plane. One arm is on our side, or under us like a pillow. Belly, I like to put a hand here, but your belly pulls in right before or as you lift the legs. The belly is even pulling up this part, your oblique window, away from the floor. So you have a three-dimensional corseting. And then there's this thing called specification. So I'm trying to just work the muscles I need. I'm not contracting my jaw, I'm not contracting my neck. So I'm waist, hip, inner thigh. Good. Pull in. That could be your focus, the waist, even though it looks like we're working our thighs. Now on this one, if you can, add on both legs lifting. If you need to modify, leave a leg down. I want you to lift this leg and keep the foot flat to the floor. In other words, don't lift it up like this. We're trying to get the abductors. They're often weak with back pain, and we're trying to get the abductors. Good. Keep the waist in while you have those abductors on. Keep the neck soft while you're working this part of our body. Now we've got 10, so if you can, stay up and lift the other leg. If that's too hard, put this leg out of the way. So I'd rather we do them right than do them accessing other muscles we didn't want. Belly in, see how it's working the whole time. These muscles, good, 2 more. Nice job. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Good job. So sometimes some dysfunction comes when these side muscles aren't strong, so that's why we always add something frontal plane. So let the arms in, belly. I like to put my hand here just because it tells me, hey, that's my cue. It would be very tempting to just think about my legs, but I want my waist. And I don't want the low back to be taken over. So if you feel your legs drift behind you, that'll put you in your back a bit. So if anything, bias forward. You should see your toes in your vision on the front side. Good. And what I like is that everyone's controlling the down. You're not just collapsing down. So your up is controlled, your down. Good. No neck tension. Good. This is another way you could do it, just a little bit of help from the floor. Everybody looks so good. And I like the exhale to help that waist pull in. Good. Now we're staying up. If you need a modification though, let that bottom leg stay down. And now notice how my outside of my foot's flat, meaning I'm lifting up, I'm not toeing up. That quad wants to take over, but we're not going to let it. We want those hip abductors. We need the glute medius strong for a strong back. Now I'm going to leave that leg up if that's okay. Now if that's too much, lift your bottom leg. You can put that leg in front of you because I've got my waist on the whole time. And I'm controlling it on the way down the eccentric. Nice job, guys. Let's lie on our back and take your right ankle to left thigh. Reach your hands through, and if your neck feels kind of cockeyed here, put a pillow under your head. You want to make sure your joints are comfortable so we can concentrate on the thing at hand, which is the hip stretch. Let your inhale come back through your nose into your posterior lateral rib cage. Your exhale can gently release tension in the body. And while we're here, let's add a few ankle rolls again. We know how important ankle mobility and stability is for the back. Toe spread, inhale. Ooh, that feels so good. Let's try the other one. I can always get benefit from a hip stretch. Reach your hands through, grab that thigh, and just see, is one tighter than the other? So I can feel my left hip's just a teeny bit tighter. So if you have that sensation, you can always stay a little longer on that hip that's tighter on you. If you would like to add on ankle movements, spread toes, roll, point flex. You can also move the head a little bit right, left. That should release any tension in the neck. Breathe into your nose, rib cage expansion. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, while we're here, take your hands to the ankles or the inner knee, inner feet. So reach your hands through, and you're going to grab them with your hands, and then you might add a little bit of a rock here or just an inner thigh stretch. 10, 2, good, belly in, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. And I want to do one long-legged inner thigh stretch. So you can do this seated if that works better for you, or lying down. You can open up the legs and pull the toes back. So see what works for you. Inner thighs, these are the inner thighs that cross the knee. Relax your shoulders. Nice job. And then turn on your side. You're going to take an arm underneath the pillow. This is a little bit more rehabby, but this is called clamshell. Try to pretend there's a back against your hip, and you're opening up your knee. It's kind of like those external rotations that we're going to do later in class, actually, with the band. Yes, that's right. It's like your hand sort of goes along with it, doesn't it? You can add that as well, because that's a rehab move as well, prehab. All right, so try 5 more. You want to feel your deep rotators. That's also important for back care. 2, good. Nice. So probably just felt good, like you want to work those muscles. They don't get, you can imagine, that attention during the day, but they're critical for the hip, decreasing hip pain and back pain. So it's like you're up against a wall. The thigh opens, and I'm going to add on this, even though there's no weight in my hand, it's anti-gravital, but you can do this without weight as well and just get benefit, because those muscles need to be stimulated. That's your external rotators. 10 more. And I'm going to slow it down a little bit so I can focus on that last range of motion. Make sure I'm true in that motion. Squeeze the rear deltoid, infraspinatus teres minor. Squeeze those deep external rotators, relax the neck. Good. And 5 and 4. Nice. and 3 and 2. Awesome job. Did one feel different than the other? So this time when you come down, you can use a band if you want, or just use your hand. We're gonna take the hamstring stretch. So if you have a band and you wanna use it, you can do that. You can also just use your hand. Good, and then take it, so notice this waist to rib distance and take it across the body. So now it should feel like more outer hamstring. So if you struggle with sort of this lateral hip pain or lateral knee pain, this is usually a good stretch. Make sure the hip doesn't hike up though. Keep the hip away from you. Breathe in. And then try out a little bit. So if you do a little bit, that's the inner hamstring. Try to pour the other leg down. Now, if you're doing okay, you can go out further. And I like to put one hand out away from that leg so I've got some counterbalance. Good. 10. Now the breath, breathe in through your nose. Expand the lateral, posterior lateral rib cage, so the sides and back of your ribs. The belly will expand too. Take an inhale. Come up. Take that leg into the other position. So one leg's up, one leg's down. Now at first we're in a linear hamstring stretch. The belly of the muscle should get our attention, the knee shouldn't hurt, and the sit bone shouldn't hurt. And if it does, just bend the knee a little bit to make sure the belly gets it. Just by full breathing, you can help your low back. Just by adding that diaphragmatic and posterior lateral rib cage, and just by activating your belly pulling in, that helps your low back too. Now this leg's gonna go across the midline. You can even internally rotate that leg a little bit, toeing towards the, so if your left leg's up, you toe towards the right a little bit, and that's that outer hamstring. So that's usually the one that's tighter of all those hamstrings. Relax your neck. Notice your waist is still long, so you aren't accidentally pulling your hip in closer to your ribs. Now go out a little bit to the side. That's your inner hamstring. Still pour the right leg down. Relax. Now if you want to go a little bit deeper, that's adding on some inner thigh. Yes. And 10. Breathe deeply. Good. See if the right hip flexor will drop to the floor anymore. And then just for a moment, do double hamstring. So feel both legs up. Little last little stretch here on the Pilates part. And I want you to notice how your body feels. Let that go, and then just take a hand per knee and kind of stir the pot just to get any final release of tension. You can hug your legs in. And we're going to come up to seated and just notice how you feel while you grab a sip of water. So do a little internal scan. How do you feel after those Pilates moves? Good job. We're going to be grabbing our bands next. Good job. All right, grab the bands. See how you feel, and add a heavy band if you have it, and grab it around your heel arch. If you don't have a heavy band, you can also take 2 bands. Walk your hands forward, pull those elbows into a row. Good, belly in. Look at that posture, very good. Good, 7, 8. And pull those elbows past your ribs if you can. While you pull your elbows past your ribs, you're still keeping your shoulders open. You're not letting the shoulders go forward. Love it. Nice posture, everyone. Good. I want to just do 10 on one side. So get ready, take 10 to the right. Nice job. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now on the left, take 10. 1, 2, 3, good, 4, 5. That hand's getting your attention, that arm's getting your attention. Terrific job. Now just to even it up, take 10 more both. Together, your torso stays tall, your elbows are lengthening and then bending, and you can add a supination if you'd like, so your palms can face up and then neutral up. Good, so you're just adding a little bit more. 5, 4, looking good. 3, 2, 1. Really good. All right, let that down and let me give us a little stretch. So go open and then turn. So hold 10. Inhale, open. The arms, I mean, and then exhale, turn the body. 1. And then return to center. Grab a sip if you'd like, and you're going to need a more of a medium band. This one, not as heavy. Take your band around your feet. Chest expansion is another name for this in lat pull. You're going to pull your arms past your hips. And when you pull your arms past your hips, you want to keep your chest open. So your chest is still open. In other words, you're not letting your torso fall forward or your shoulders fall forward. So think chest expansion. Maybe the arms will be a little bit, will go a little bit more with your focused attention. As long as the shoulders are open though, that's your main cue. Here we go. Breathe in and breathe out through your nose. Pull. Pull. Good. Also like how there's no neck tension. It's just the muscles you need to keep the head stacked over the spine. Good. Pull. Pull. And feel your abs pull in. 5, 4, 3. Good. Nice. Now cross the band like an X. And the elbows are close to your side. This is the external rotation with the bands. This is those rear deltoid, infraspinatus teres minor muscles that help us keep the rounded shoulders off our way. That lets us stay open in the shoulders. Good. And you might go an inch further than you thought you could with that slow focus. Good. Neck is soft. You're not lifting the shoulders. The shoulders are down like they're in low pockets. And open. And open. Good, Jean. Lifting through the crown. 5 more. 4, and I'm slowing it on the way down. 3 to make both the concentric and the eccentric work. Ooh, and then let that go for a moment. Let's do the opposite muscle group stretch. Go up and away. Go up and away and lift your heart. 5. Oh, that one should feel so good. This is a posture stretch. 5. Add the breath. 4. 3. This tells our posture where we want to be for the rest of the day. Inhale and exhale, and then gently come back. Nice job. I want to add a bicep curl. So on this one, about a medium band will be good. And you're putting your band around. And at first, if you're osteoporotic, I'm going to slightly point the toes so the band doesn't come off. You can just do right here a bicep curl. If you would like to add a little spinal flexion for the abs, you can lean back a bit. Good. So if you're osteoporotic, you're going to stay neutral and upright. Or if it just feels better on your back to stay upright, that's another thing if you don't have a diagnosis, but you can just tell, listen to your body. I like it. Okay, try 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2, and 1. Now come up, grab a band, another one that's just a slightly lighter, or if you're using one and you just change your hand position, that'll work too. So this is going to be 15 rear flies. So go out about the height of your shoulders, but I do like a little bit lower. Out, 4, good, 5, work that rear part, 6, neck is soft, 7, but the back of the shoulders working, 8, 9, good, 10, squeeze, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now a stretch to go with that. So any way you want to sit, go up and over this time. And I like to add a rotation down and a rotation up. Now return to the position that felt really good for you. Yeah. I added on one more stretch, didn't I, Betty? And then come up and over. And notice I'm even stretching through the hands. They are contracting and they're gripping during the class, which is fine. We need grip strength, but then I'm doing the opposite here in the stretch. So straightening, uncurling, open up. Okay, so now I felt a little tightness there. So notice you don't always know what's going on with your body until you give it that attention. So find a place that you need. Now breathe into that side. And then come back up. Really good, guys. Grab a sip. We're going to go to standing with some Dynaband exercises, elastic tubing. When you stand, try to come up without any hands. And then let's add on a deltoid raise. So you take a foot and stand on that band. I like the bands because it's pretty easy to change. All you have to do is stand on more band or less band and lift up. Good. 5. And I want to work the shoulders. I don't want to feel like the neck is straining. I want to keep the body in the same position. Good. And the hand is going out, but it's still in my peripheral vision, which is called the scapular plane. It's the safest place for the arm to move. That a girl. Okay, try 5 more. Everybody looks so good. 3, no one's leaning away from that. 2, feel that shoulder. Let's go to the other side. So I'm going to change feet just to make it even. Change hands. First 1 or 2, you might need to change where you're standing. That is fine. That's the beauty of the bands and the tubings. Now you're tall. You're breathing into your nose. You're at a little exhale, pull in of your belly on those exhales. Good. You're resisting on the way down, just like you feel the natural resistance of the band on the way up. Good. 12. You get to focus on your wellness, your muscles, your breathing, your posture. This is also helping lymph nodes, pumping lymph. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Very good. Now I'm going to add on a stretch. So the hands are pretty wide here. And you're going to go up and back and up and forward and up. And everyone looks good. Your body's stable, but your arms are doing this almost a complete circle. On the next one, find a place that's like a Y and hold. Head back. 5. Full breath. 4. This is so good for the posture. Now try a little lower. This is just a different position. Breathe in and then lower, just a different position. Your pecs have 3 attachments, so it's nice to get different positions so that those muscles that would pull us forward are getting stretched. This is one of the recipes for keeping a good posture, is stretching these front muscles. Now this is an informal roll. Just kind of move your shoulders around. It should just feel good and let go of tension. Very good. Now we're going to take the band to the foot again, right foot, and step on that band with your heel and go forward. Now I'm going to move over a little if I need more tension. I'm going to move this way if I need less tension. Good. This is called anti-rotational. So what you're doing is making sure your body doesn't turn away from that arm. Good. So you have a little tone in your core just to keep your body from rotating. Now I'm going to slow it down on the last 10. Good. 9. Nice. The neck is soft. 8. You'll see me do that sometimes to make sure. 7. Your knees are not hyperextended. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. All right, guys, that was great. Now we're switching hands, and I like to switch feet too, so you have this vector, this same vector. So your arm goes right, goes to the front. Now notice the body would turn. If you weren't paying attention, stay forward. The neck is soft. 5. Good. 6. 7. Breathe fully through your nose. Not many chances during the day where we get to focus on our breath. And that helps the nervous system, which, how good is that to be able to have a tool with us all the time that soothes the nervous system. Good. Regulates the nervous system. What a great tool we have. 5 more. Good. 4 more. Looking good. 3. Look at those good postures. 2. How wonderful. 1. Great job. Grab a sip. We're going to do a chest tricep exercise. This one's going to be about a medium band as well behind your upper back. I'm going to take a medium heavy behind the scapula. Now I like to add the wrap of these. I don't like them to hit me, so I'm going to wrap those handles in there too. Okay. Push, exhale forward and get a feel. Do I have the right tension? If not, grab more, grab less, whatever you need. I'm going to go straight ahead. I'll just show you. The palms are slightly up on this, and I am trying to lengthen the elbows all the way, and it should feel like there's a little bit of a effort at the end, like I have to think about it to lengthen the elbows. Or I feel like the band has some tension for sure as soon as I start, and especially here at the end. Neck soft. 10. 9. That a girl. Karen, good idea. If you would like to add that on, you can. If it makes you feel like you lose some of the other cues, then just do the upper body. All right. Good. And you can tell I'm trying to like add a little bit more focus. There is a moment of balance right there. Ankle strengthening. Good. Lengthen. 2. And 1. Ooh, I really like that. Good job, guys. Stand on your band. Both palms face up. One heel if it's a heavier band or if you feel like it's too much tension. 2 heels if you feel like you need more tension. So you're listening to you and what bands you have, and your height could have something to do with it, or what you did the day before. 5. Good. So 6. Now the wrist, if you're not sure, you can look at them. You want them to be neutral, so they're not hyperextended. They're going along with your forearm. Good. Notice how the chest and shoulders are still open, that I'm not rounding to get the hands to me. I'm pulling the hands to me, not pulling the shoulders forward. Looking good. You can imagine you're picking up items, picking up butternut squashes, picking up spaghetti squashes. This is what these muscles are really good for. 3 more. Trying to slow it on the way down. Really good. 2. 1. Nice job. Now give yourself a little shoulder roll. I'm going to move the screen, grab a sip, and then we'll do a tricep overhead press. So I just feel like I need to move the screen up so you can see. Okay, try this. One hand behind your head and one hand at your lower spine. Good girl, so that's it. So it may be that you have to adjust, but try to push. 2, and I'm trying to make sure I've caught enough of the tail so it's not under my foot causing a tripping accident. 4, up, and 5. So I'm going to say a cue, rings are aligned. 6, that means my clavicle is evenly over my rib cage. My rib cage is evenly over my pelvis. I'm not shifted either way. That's what I mean by rings aligned. Clavicle over ribs, ribs over pelvis. Good, because when your arms are overhead, it's easy to poke the ribs forward. So you have your abs on to help prevent that. Last 5, jaw soft. 5, 4, 3, good. 2. We love strong triceps here. They really help prevent falls. So take this hand, and they make up 3/4 of the arm, so we're wanting that to be strong. Okay, so I'm grabbing extra at my low back. Here we go. Push up and exhale. 2, good. Make sure your wrist feels healthy. Usually your palms facing your head on these. 5, to make sure that wrist feels good. 7, 8, rings are aligned. 9, and I'm going to try to slow it down a little. 10. Make it really meaningful. Get all the juice out of that squeeze. Good. Here we go, breathing. 14, good. 15, good. It should still feel like you're getting fatigued. 16, 17, 18. All right, try 2 more. 19, try 1 more. And then release the band. Now, I want to add a shoulder stretch that also is, here's this, also is a one-legged balance. So I'm going to sneak my foot up higher here. So 2 things going on at once. All right, 10, 2, 3, because we know we need strong glutes to help the back, especially if you've had let's say you had to work at the desk a long time or drive. You want the glute fibers to get back on board, or the back can have pain. Lower that. I'm going to sneak my foot up first and then interlace the fingers and open the shoulders. All right, 10, 2, yep, long knee. 5, 6, 7, good, Jean. 8, good, Jean. I was just getting ready to say good, Jean. 9 and 10. Good job. All right, take it to a hand weight. So I want to do a hand weight that you can do this overhead press. So it's going to probably be lighter. So I'd say somewhere between 3 and 8. And a 5 might be a good place to start, and then. Now when you push up, do you remember how we talked about this in the triceps? The ribs will help you pull down. The abs will help pull your ribs down, so your low back doesn't get overly arched. And imagine your breath helps you push that weight up. So you can exhale and help you push that weight up. Good. So you're putting things up overhead in the, nice, good girl. Love the modifications. Last 5. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Good job. Now I'm going to have us lower the hand weights. I'm going to have us get down to the floor without using our hands. Grab a sip, and I want to do a chest press. So you're going to be lying down on the floor, feet flat. I was reviewing a course and they called that the hook position. So you're going to lie down, feet on the floor, back down. It's probably going to be somewhere between 5 and 12 pounds for your chest press. So you're going to lie back. And if you need a pillow under your head, do that. Push up and inhale and exhale, push. And I need your shoulders to feel very good here. So if you have any discomfort, you can alter your angle. But a lot of times the humerus at 45 degrees, the arm bone at 45 degrees will feel safe. Another position is elbows closer to the ribs. And you want to feel like your shoulders, your elbows, your wrist are protected so that you can work on your muscles without worrying about an injury. Now let's add that breath. Your exhale can help you push that hand weight up, and your exhale can help you pull your belly in. So you get a little bit of deep spinal stabilizers with these exercises. All right, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now release that and take a full body stretch. Arms, fingers, toes. Nice. And I want to do a set of the anterior flies. Same thing, listen to your body. It may be that you need just a pound or 2 lighter on this, or maybe you can take the same weight at first and then change. So I'm going to move away from the wall. Go back to that hook position where your feet are on the floor and your back's on the mat. Open up like you're hugging a tree. Make sure your hand weights are not touching the floor on this, right? So your arm hits the floor probably, but not your hand weights. So you're never hyperextensive in the joints. Let's add the exhale, pulling our belly in a little bit. Nice, everyone looks good. So 9 more. 8, 7, 6. Let's do that full breath. 5, 4, your belly pulls in on the exhales. 3, as you pull the weights in. 2 more. 2, 1. Now let the hand weights go to the side for a minute. I'm going to have us come up and do 1 core plank in the middle of this so that we're addressing our core muscles in the weight training. So elbows, knees is modified, toes is harder, and hold. 10, 2, 3. Good. 4, knees long. 5, 6. Yes, very good. 7, 8, and 9. Now on the 10, rest your hips, take your hands low, lift up your torso, lift up your legs if you can, and hold here. 10. And recover with the child's pose. Very good. Press back. Good job. Breathe in. And then you're going to come up to a standing position. Now you can use your, no hands, use your legs. All right, so I want to do a little hammer curl or a supinated curl. So probably a heavier weight, 5 to 12. You're going to bend the elbows. I want you to be able to pick up anything you want from the farmer's market, pumpkins, acorn squashes, whatever you need, and feel strong here. While we're on it, if you are taking things from your car to your house, you want to make sure not to load your forearms up with a bunch of grocery bags. It's really bad for the neck. I even had a client who I was telling that to, and she said, oh, I wish I'd known that earlier. She had already had neck surgery, and it was from her loading. The orthopedic surgeon said it was from loading up her forearms with the bags of groceries. So just make sure you actually will make sure not to do that. So that's why I want to get our muscles strong so we don't feel like we have to do stuff like that. It's worth it to make the extra trips. Take 3 more. Take 2 more. I want you to feel like your upper body is strong when you're doing your daily task. You should feel really more capable. You're aware of your strength. So take these down. And I want to give us the half moon stretch. So if you would like, add your right foot over and then your left hand down and then your right arm up. Now the whole side gets a stretch, even your side hip, even your hands. Breathe in. Go up and over to the other side. Cross if you would like. If that creates some imbalance or unsteadiness, just leave your feet the same. Breathe in. Love it. 5. Breathe. 4. 3. 2. Inhale. Good. And 1. I want to give us a couple of posture stretches. So one's back, one's here. And see if you can clasp your fingers. Now, you're doing fine, but if you'd like to add on 3 circles each way, this is dynamic balance. I want you to feel like you work on your balance each week, as we do. Good. And take your foot up. And 1, 2. Yep, making room. 3 the other way. And that each leg has some practice balance. Now the next one, very good, is palms here. This is called prayer pose, but you could also make it harder. Palms reverse. Hold. We'll change it up. Stork pose, just bend the knee and hold. Balance. Good. And now lower. And let me show you a better side view, Jean. Bend, if you want to add on stork pose, bend the knee behind. Yeah, but pull, yeah, there you go. Let that go. Now we're going to take a humongous breath up and breathe in all the appreciation that your body was able to do the task today. How amazing is that body? It's a miracle. Breathe in the fact that your mind got you here today. What a strong, persistent practice you have. And breathe in the miracle of the breath. Without the breath, there is no life. That breath is miracle. That breath is our spirit. So we're going to take a moment just to give the highest intention of wellness to our body, mind, and breath for the rest of the day, and see all the appreciations as we go through the day. With so much appreciation to you, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so much.